Hello and welcome back to Smart Martial Arts, the YouTube channel where we go over everything martial arts. In this video, I'm back in the gi, back in the belt. It feels really good. Camera's really close, but yeah, we'll deal with it. But in this video, I'm gonna be talking about sparring and kind of the levels of sparring and how to get there. I don't have that much experience. I spar every week for like an hour, hour and a half, maybe. And I've been doing that for the past maybe year or so. Plus whatever the sparring I did before that. So that's where I'm coming from experience. I've also sparred with the people who have sparred for years and years and years. So I also have that as well. That's where I'm coming from. So the first thing you want to do, the first level, I guess, is like the beginner level when you're first starting and you have no idea what the hell you're doing. The most important part at that point is you can't see my feet, but for those who do a kind of a Muay Thai style, that's what my sparring is. You don't want to be completely flat-footed. You want to have your heels off the ground. You want to be on the balls of your feet, and you want to have your knees bent just a little bit so that you can move fast either way in and out. You also want to have that guard up, which is just here. If you want to, you can have it out as well. That way it stops out. This is kind of something that I've been told. And then you don't want to step. I kind of am. You kind of want to hop back and forth. And then you don't want to cross your feet behind each other. That's just something that if you do that and someone rushes you, you're going to go straight down and it's not going to be good. So that's kind of the first step, is getting good at that with, of course, the basic strikes, the punches, and some basic kicks. From there, I'd say you get really good at that. And then you start switching it up a little bit. You start playing with the kicks, each one that you can kind of do. Instead of doing like a teep or roundhouse, maybe throw in like an instep, or not instep, but like an inside the leg, hit the thigh, hit the calf. Start hitting, specific places. Start feinting. Start doing that kind of stuff. From there, kind of just now incorporate everything where you're like this, going in and out. Maybe sparring longer, where instead of I can't really do this because the thing on the back. But here, I can reach my phone, right? So instead of here, I want to be here. So I have to step a little bit and then reach a little bit more. That way, I can't reach my opponent and they can't reach me. The same thing with that, though, is now starting to work on distance, where if I'm sparring someone my height, I know where I have to be. If I'm sparring someone taller than I am, I have to be further back. So you can start playing with that. One thing that's getting one of the people that I spar with, he is the tallest of us. I don't know how tall he is. But he is a taller of us, and I've been starting to kind of get pretty decent with my distancing and not getting hit and being just outside that range. But then he sparred someone taller than him, and his range was completely messed up, while I guess I was the only one sparring in that group. Well, I was fine because I'm so used to that. So really starting to go from there and start working with different opponents and kind of start messing around. From there, I would say you could go more takedowns now. You can start catching kicks, you can start double leg takedowns, you can start blasting in and getting kind of, actually before any of that, start getting in close and learning how to fight in close. And then the last step before going to the ground is maybe start working against a little bit of the wall or a corner to get out of there. From there, you start going in, you start doing takedowns, catching your leg, as I said, go straight for the double leg. Whatever the takedown you want to do, maybe a clinch, a sweep, whatever it is. But now you start working takedowns and how you can flow them in. And then from a takedown, you can start working very basic ground techniques, kind of from jiu-jitsu, mount, guard, and side control. How to continue keeping in that, where's a good position to be, bottom or top. Anyone's really fine, but top is obviously where you want to be. I think that's kind of a given. And then you start incorporating all of that, and then you start working kind of keeping someone on the ground and transitioning, maybe add a little bit more jiu-jitsu in it. The flow where you kind of trap and then you roll someone and now you're on top. Start throwing strikes from the bottom and the top, and then from there you start getting up and going back at it again. That last part is important because even now, especially when I first started doing it, getting back up is the hard part. That is the part that sucks because you're so used to being on the ground, you're so used to being on the top. When you stand up, you're both dizzy and you're like, oh shit, what do I do here? And then from there, honestly, I'm decent in all of those because I do jiu-jitsu. I've kind of, I have that practice with that kind of stuff with all of this for the past year. Where I've now started, because most people in my school will spar left leg forward orthodox. I've now started kind of doing a more karate where I'm bladed with my right foot forward, and I've really started messing around with my kicks because I'm not really that strong here, but I can get good kick placement, and I've gotten a few good kicks. So at that point, once you get from the very beginning to standing up from the ground and being able to get away and back up to here, you can start playing around. You can start doing the things that you want to do. If you watch, like now, one thing that I should mention that you should start doing even before you spar is kind of start learning how to watch people and how they spar, because everyone spars differently, and if you can go into a sparring match knowing either how they're going to fight or what they're going to do, I guess it's kind of the same thing. As a teacher, it helps because you can help them get not past something, but you can help them hide it so they don't get taken as much. Or as a student going into the sparring, you know you can pick apart. But now you start doing, at the very end, you can start messing around, where I start doing this with my kicks. We don't allow knees and elbows because those can kind of get haywire, but if you are really with someone that trusts you, if you trust them, maybe you start throwing the knees, throwing the elbows very lightly. But other than that, sparring is a lot of, once you can get to the point where you can have fun and you can, do whatever it is you want to do, like for whatever reason I just started to do. Well, actually, no. And another big thing is have fun with it, as I said. But another huge thing is try different things. Because for a year, we did left before we did orthodox. And then one time, a few months ago, before our Christmas break, me and the person I sparred with, the Shihan I know, we were like, how about we do this? How about we go the other way, right foot forward? And we did that for an hour. And that's when I started to realize that, oh, shit, I can actually be effective in this. Because that was when I was landing nice, solid side kicks, roundhouse kicks, hook kicks sometimes. And I was doing really good with my legs. So kind of branch out, do what you're not comfortable with, and have your sparring partner, if you spar a lot with one person, start throwing in new things. Like once you're really comfortable and you're kind of getting bored, do challenges. Like you can only use one hand's not on the glove, so you can't punch with it. Legs only, hands only. You can't attack, you can only defend. You can only attack, you can't defend. Anything like that, you can start having fun with it. But obviously, with that being said, you should have fun throughout the entirety of your sparring. From whether you are just starting, at the end, very advanced. Always have fun, because again, if it's not fun, then it's not worth doing. But other than that, I think that's all of my ideas. If I have any, I'll just add a little black screen with writing. But other than that, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you think I missed anything or wanted to add anything or talk about anything, of course, leave that in the comments. Other than that, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good one.